So I'm originally from Columbus, Ohio. I've been dancing since I was around 11 years old. I started dancing at a competition studio where we mainly focused on jazz and lyrical and tap.
Behind the mask hides the shadows of your deepest.
And I was a little behind the other dancers because I hadn't started when I was, 3, like a lot of people do. So I started taking ballet classes at Ballet Met, and that really helped improve my technique. I went to Ohio University and majored in dance. After I graduated from college, I moved to Columbus, and I really wanted to create my own work. I was just really inspired by culture and fashion and just all sorts of, things to create my own project. We would wear elaborate makeup, hence the eyelashes and the big lips, and cute costumes and wigs, and just kind of really trying to exaggerate fashion. And I think also my experience from competition dance, it really made me want to go in that direction of flashy. But at the same time, because I'm academically trained, I wanted to go in the direction of conceptual and meaningful work. And so I think I really just fused those two ideas together to create Anna and the Annadroids.
I can hear your cries. Deep inside your eyes.
When I first met Anna, she showed me her work, and I really connected to it because I loved the makeup and the kind of really out there thinking that she has, but she's also really personal with her emotions on stage, and she doesn't hold back, and I really connected to that when I watched her videos. And this production is probably the height of our understanding of each other and feeling of how we want a show to flow and look.
Anna and the Annadroids is a multimedia dance and aerial experience. And we've started using the word experience because there's just so many elements. We've got video, we've got dance, we've got aerial, and now we're even making the music. And so there's so many components that come together to create this fully visual experience. So in this production, Fauxpabia, first it's a play on words. There's the word faux pas, which is a misstep, and then there's the word phobia, which is obviously related to fears and phobias. And so I thought it was an interesting thing to create a combination of the misstep, since we are technically stepping, we're dancing, right? So it's the mistake of being afraid, the mistake of living in fear. And I think that we are all at least aware that that is happening in our culture more and more, and it's just becoming more intense as we progress.
Where am I?
It's about a girl, Anna, the Annadroid,
How did I get here?
who is experiencing these fears and phobias. And you go along on that journey with her sort of in her mind.
Am I alone? Am I alone?
When you see her, it's her thoughts that you're hearing.
I feel something coming, moving fast, like a spiral of chaotic energy that pushes me out of the light and blinds my eyes.
One of the usual challenges working with dancers is always with timing. And luckily that Anna and I have been collaborating for the past 3 years. I've kind of started to understand the way dancers move, their timing, how they relate their counting to music. Coming from a music background, I count slightly differently than dancers, so that's something I had to kind of learn.
I really want the audience to feel less isolated and more a part of something. I think that because of the fear driven culture that we're living in, it tends to make us all feel isolated, which creates anxiety and depression. And I think that within this production, there's a lot of references that people can really grasp, where it's like, wow, this person or this character is really feeling this way. I have felt this way, so I'm not crazy, I'm not alone. I think that's what the show is about, and so I'm hoping that that is how the audience is responding to the work.